My name is Cam, and this is my story. As a family, I have an older brother. I've got my two parents. From the outside, we just looked perfect. Our household was just filled with love. And then I really got involved into sports. I am a big guy, so I thought I'd give a shot at playing football. Stepped onto the football field my first time, fell in love with playing football. Played all through elementary school, middle school, high school, and then even had the opportunity to go play in college. All of those years we were playing, that's what really brought our family together, was playing sports. They fell in love with watching me play. It removed distractions for 3 or 4 hours a week. They got to watch their boy play ball. Football became my identity. It became who I was. Like I said, I had the opportunity to go play college football. Got to play ball at East Tennessee State University in Johnson City, Tennessee. I played there for 4 years. I redshirted my first year, so what that means is I was given another year to play, so I could have played for 5 years. I was so wrapped up in, going to the next level, being the best. I would work out for hours, and that just bred performance in me. If I were to mess up on a play and a coach would call me out, I would lose sleep that entire night. And then that overthinking led to even more overthinking in aspects outside of football. And in turn, really neglected my relationship with the Lord. Starting my 4th year, I knew it was time for me to be done with football. And it was a decision I had been praying about and talking to friends, talking to mentors, if I should continue. I knew that I wasn't going to go to the next level. I knew I wasn't going to play in the NFL, and I took into account my mental health. And it was a decision that I had come to peace with. The core of my family and our identity was wrapped up in me playing football. So when I sat them down and shared this with my family, this came as a complete shock. They were fully expecting me to have played that 1 more year, so they were expecting for me to have 2 more years. But in reality, they only had 1 more year to watch their boy play football. They didn't know what to say. They were silent. They actually hung up on me. I was in tears. I was shattered because I knew that they thought I was quitting. I thought that I was a letdown. I was a disappointment. And all of those things were eventually spoken over me by my father on the phone, coming from someone you've looked up to your whole life, someone that you've shared all of these memories with. Say those things was very, very hurtful. Now, I didn't respond in the best way either, so it's not 100% their fault. They did the best that they could do with what they knew, and I honestly did not respond to their response as well as I could have. There was no grace, there was no mercy, there was a lot of screaming and yelling, tears, fighting. We went through a time of about a year and a half where things were very rocky. There was really no relationship with my father. I didn't really want to have anything to do with him simply because of a decision that I made that was best for me and where I was in this season of life. And so it was just weird. A decision that I was so confident in immediately became a question. Like, should I really do this? Should I come back and play 1 more year at the expense of my mental health? And so it wasn't until I started coming to Focus that I got connected with Pastor Dave, and I heard about a healing and freedom session. And the way I was brought up, healing and freedom wasn't really talked about. And then I actually went through a healing and freedom session with Pastor Dave in March of this year. I didn't know what I needed broken off of me, and so I just went in with no expectations, and I went in with an open heart, and I immediately asked the Lord to, reveal to me, what needs to happen during this session. Within a second, it was like, you need to forgive your father. You need to forgive the words that were said over you. You need to forgive yourself for the depressive state you fell into. You need to forgive yourself for the things that you spoke about yourself. And so I remember we reflected on memories, painful memories, and the memory that came to mind was the one where I was telling my parents that I wasn't playing football anymore. And then I remember sitting in the Healing and Freedom just becoming so overwhelmed with anger. I was sweating. I was clenching my fists. I was pulling my hair, not knowing what to do. And then Pastor Dave just said, lean back and release. And so I did, and I just started crying, bawling my eyes out. I just felt this load that I didn't even know I had been carrying just be released off of my shoulders. I felt free. I felt light. My heart felt a way that it has never felt before. So not even 3 minutes after the session was over, I had missed a call from my dad. That was perfect timing for the Lord for me to explain the reality of what I had been going through, the depressive states, the suicidal thoughts. And I got to just share all of that with my dad. And we talked for almost 2 hours. We reconciled. I told him directly over the phone, I said, I forgive you for everything that you did. I forgive you for the words that you spoke over me. I forgive you for the pain. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful to have you as a dad. And that's not really something that, I'd ever thought I would have to say. The freedom that I had experienced because of that healing and freedom session with Pastor Dave changed the trajectory of my life. From where I was to where I am now, there are so many hopes that I have for people that I come in contact with every single day, and especially on Sunday mornings. There have been countless people that have come up to me simply because of my story and just thanked me. So the Lord is really using my story to help people forgive. I'm in a community now of believers who have the same mission as I do, and that is to make Jesus known, and is to love hearts back to life, and just to be a light in such a dark world. As I look towards the future, I look to just starting a ministry. I don't know what that looks like yet, but I know that I'm just supposed to be with God's people and listen to their stories, because we're not meant to do this life alone. We need community surrounding us to help us walk through these painful journeys in life and ultimately lead them back to the Lord, because without Jesus Christ and His forgiveness for us, we can never offer someone else forgiveness if we don't first understand that we have been forgiven by Jesus.